One of the biggest tools for retirement savings is a 401k, but it might not be the optimal tool for everyone. And in today's show, we're going to talk about 5 reasons why you may not want to contribute to your 401k and alternatives that you might want to consider instead.
Welcome to the Your Life, Your Money podcast with Scott Searens, teaching you how to thrive in life, wealth, and retirement.
Welcome to another episode of The Retirement Show, all about your life, your money, and today we're going to talk about your 401k and particularly why you should not invest in your 401k. And I know what you might be thinking. I thought investing in my 401k was like plain and simple advice, just like you need to eat your vegetables. Well, today we're going to go over 5 reasons why you may not want to invest in your 401k. Hey, before we get into that, I'm your host, Scott Searens. My goal is to help you thrive in life, wealth, and retirement, specifically thinking about retirement. If you are not yet collecting Social Security, we want to make sure that you get a hold of our free guide in regards to decisions around Social Security. You can get it at lifemoneyshow.com/Social Security. Again, that's lifemoneyshow.com/Social Security. It's a guide discussing different decisions around Social Security. It's going to provide you actionable advice about the timing of claiming your benefits. It's going to discuss ways to supplement your Social Security income and most importantly, help you get the most from your benefits, help you by optimizing your benefits, hopefully by hundreds and thousands of dollars. Again, you can get that at lifemoneyshow.com/Social Security. So today we're going to talk about why you may not want to invest into your company 401k. And you might be thinking, wait, what? You've always heard, make sure to contribute to your 401k. How otherwise would you even be ready for retirement? And don't get me wrong, the 401k can be a great investment vehicle. And there's a lot of benefits to the 401k, tax advantage benefits, as well as, I'll call it free money benefits. I'm saying that in quotes, right? Somewhat free money. It's your company match. That's a benefit of a 401k that you don't want to miss out on. But it might not necessarily be the optimal choice for everyone out there. So when is it that you would not or potentially not want to put money into your company 401k? And that's what we're going to talk about today, the 5 reasons why you might not want to put money and invest in your company 401k. Well, let's start with number 1. As I had mentioned, your 401k is kind of like that plain and simple advice of make sure you eat your vegetables. Well, guess what? You shouldn't be eating vegetables if you can't afford to pay for them. And that'd be the first reason why you wouldn't want to put money into your 401k. The first reason is if you don't have an emergency fund or if you're swimming in debt on depreciating assets, well then pretty straightforward, you shouldn't be putting money into your 401k. Instead, you should be paying down that debt or building up that emergency fund. You see, because when you have debt or loans, those are costing you in interest. That debt is working against you. And while it might feel good to contribute money to your 401k, what if you're contributing to your 401k, but everything that you're contributing is just being wiped out in interest payments that you're paying on debt? They're just offsetting your contributions. It's really doing you no good. You're just breaking even at the end of the day. Or worse yet, that the interest payments are more than what you're contributing to your 401k. So first and foremost, if you've got debt out there on depreciating assets, loans out there with high interest rates, I would really, really recommend that you focus on getting those paid down first before putting money into your 401k. Same thing if you don't have an emergency fund built up, because then you want to focus on building up that emergency fund before contributing to your 401k. And here's a good reason why. You might think, well, wait a second, I don't have debt. I'm just going to slowly work building up my emergency fund while putting money into my 401k. And then guess what? The emergency happens. The car breaks down. The furnace breaks. Next thing you know, you've got a $10,000 bill, but you don't have $10,000 in the bank. So what are you going to need to do? Well, you could put it on a credit card, go more into debt, Or maybe going through your mind is, oh, but I've got money in my 401k. I'll just take a loan against my 401k. That's one of the things that we really, really don't want you to do, is take a loan against your 401k. So number one thing here on the list of why you may not want to contribute to your 401k is if you have debt or you have yet to build up your emergency fund. Hit pause on those 401k contributions. Hurry up and knock out that debt. Hurry up and get your savings built up, and then really put everything towards your 401k. Okay, moving on here. Reason number 2 that you may not want to contribute to your 401k is if your employer doesn't match your contributions. And for a lot of you out there, you might be thinking, wait, really? That happens? Yep, it actually does. There are some employers out there that don't offer a match. When I say match, right, that's you're putting in so much and then they're going to put in so much based on how much you put in. It's almost like free money because it's the employer's contribution, not yours, the employer's contribution into your 401k. After a certain amount of time, it vests, it becomes 100% yours. Well, some employers just don't do that. And if they're not going to do that, then maybe you would rather contribute to a plan that's in your control versus in their control. So maybe you'd rather contribute to your Roth IRA or your traditional IRA, or maybe to your brokerage account. And I'm naming a bunch of different accounts here because if you've heard any of our shows before, you know, to me, it's really important that you get tax diversification in your life. You want tax diversification, so you've got tax flexibility when it comes to your funds. Now, let me share a quick story with you of one just story of many of a client that their company does not do a company match in the 401k. And after looking at the funds in that 401k, a lot of them have higher expense ratios. So in their situation, it actually makes a whole lot of sense that they don't contribute to their company 401k, and instead they contributed to their IRA, to their Roth IRAs, to a brokerage account, because it would be saving them on those mutual fund or exchange traded fund expense ratios. Plus, they're able to have more options available to them outside of their 401k versus in it. Now, I'm going to kind of go in reverse here. A reason, though, even though if you are not getting your company match, it doesn't always mean that you need to go outside of your 401k. Maybe your company offers great options, and here's the thing. You can put more money away in your 401k than you can put away in just a traditional IRA or traditional Roth IRA. Maybe your company offers a Roth 401k, and based on your income, you're not able to put money into a regular IRA or even into a Roth IRA. So now your company plan is the only way for you to get money into that Roth 401k. So I know the story here is all about why you may not want to put money in your 401k, but I also want to go through kind of the reverse there of, hey, even if they don't do the company match, yep, as I mentioned in the story, sometimes it makes sense to go outside of your 401k. However, sometimes it makes sense just to stay there and still contribute to it. Okay, let's move on. Number 3 on the list here, why we may not, I'm not going to say should not, why we may not want to put money into our 401k is if you might need the money before retirement. You see, a lot of times people can lose track of the fact that the money in your 401k, you're not able to make withdrawals from it until age 59 and a half without penalty. You see, prior to that age 59 and a half, if you're to take withdrawals from an IRA, from an old 401k, then you could incur a 10% penalty. And maybe you just caught on there, I said old 401k. And here's the reason why I said that. There is a rule out there called the rule of 55, meaning if you were to leave your company at age 55 or after, you can take the money from that 401k without penalty, again, starting at age 55 or after, but it has to be from the company that you just left, the company that you just retired from. It can't be that you're, with company A, but you have company B that you left 10 years prior and you've got their 401k, you can't go to that one. It has to be the company that you were just with and just left starting at age 55. But folks, be really, really careful with this rule. And let me explain why. I have a couple that were looking to utilize the rule of 55. Now, when we reached out to their companies, I always like to reach out. We always like to make sure we check on every part of the company's plan, especially as we're putting together a detailed plan where somebody might retire at the age of 55 and use the rule of 55. One of their plans allows them to take out withdrawals each and every month, each and every year, really flexible. The other plan would allow them to use the rule of 55, but guess what? They'd have to take one lump sum of everything in the plan. One lump sum of everything in the plan, meaning they would put themselves in a much higher tax bracket. They didn't need to take out all that money. They didn't need a lump sum of money. They just needed some each and every month over the next 4 years, right, to get them to age 59 and a half. And so be really careful. If you're going to use the rule of 55, make sure that you reach out to your plan sponsor to see that the rule will fit for you. So if you feel like you might need money before age 59 and a half, then it might not make sense to put all of your money into your 401k. You may want to start to put some money into other accounts as well that you can touch before age 59 and a half. That would be an individual account or a joint account, or it's called a brokerage account. Basically, it's a non-retirement account. You can put money in it, take money out of it, all prior to age 59 and a half without penalty. But just remember, when you take money out of a brokerage account, you could be looking at taxes on any sort of gains, or I guess you could have losses as well that you'd be able to report on your taxes. So number 3 of why you might not want to put all of your money into your 401k is if you need money before age 59 and a half. As I mentioned in one of our prior rules, folks, I really believe in tax diversification, putting and saving money into different tax type of accounts. You've got qualified accounts and non-qualified accounts. This can really help with flexibility in your future. Here's just another thing. Let's just say it's not even because of prior to age 59 and a half. Imagine that you're in retirement now. All of your money is in your 401k, and you decide that you're going to buy an RV. You're like, I need $100,000. I am going to get this brand new RV. It's going to be great. Well, wait a second, where are you going to go to get the payment for that RV or even the down payment for that RV? You've only got one location to go to, and it's your 401k. And every dollar that you're going to take out of that account is going to get taxed at your ordinary income rates. Let's say you're going to take out all $100,000. Well, guess what? Most likely, that $100,000 that you're going to take out in addition to what you're already taking out is going to push you up into another tax bracket. And now that money may be getting taxed at a higher rate. However, if you were practicing tax diversification, also putting some money into your Roth, also putting some money into your brokerage account, now you decide to go to get that RV, well, guess what? You have other accounts to go to take the money out of, so you're not pushing yourself into potentially a higher tax bracket and higher tax rates in your retirement. So please, please, please really think about tax diversification when it comes to your savings and your retirement. Okay, back to it here. Number 4 of why you might not want to put money into your 401k is if you have concerns about the structure of the plan. And what do I mean by concerns? Well, there's a few different things here that I mean. One could be the investment options that they offer to you in your plan. I've seen some plans that have great investment options, but I've also seen some plans where unfortunately the investment options were pretty poor, or they were just all target date funds, or they did have some really low cost funds, but then they didn't have a mid-cap fund, or they didn't have a small cap fund, or they really didn't have a great international fund. And so that could be a reason that after you take a look at your 401k plan and you look at the investment options, maybe if those are concerning to you, again, back to our story earlier, maybe you just want to put more of your money or invest more of your money outside of your 401k. Another thing that can bring concern would be fees and expenses. Have you looked at the expense ratios of the funds that you get to choose from? Now, I see a lot of plans out there have been making updates and really been a lot better about providing some low-cost funds to their employees. However, I've also seen sometimes in some of the smaller company plans, and heck, even some large plans, that unfortunately some of the funds out there just carry a really high expense ratio. The expense ratio is the fee, it's like the management fee of the fund itself, of the mutual fund that you hold. So as you go through and look at your 401k selections and options, also take a look at those expense ratios of what you're choosing, seeing if you can find funds that will help you be diversified, align with your long-term strategy, but also be low cost. Again, maybe you're in a plan that unfortunately doesn't have those low-cost funds, and therefore that's why you need to put your money outside of your 401k. And then the last is just control and flexibility. Do you have a plan that's responsive? If you pick up the phone to make calls, to make withdrawals, are they going to respond? Are you going to have to sit on the phone for 2 hours just to get some money out, or half a day just to get some money out? And then how easy is that going to be? Can you just fill something out online really quick, or are you going to have to go through lots of paperwork and headaches and notary signatures just to get access to your money? So what type of flexibility does your plan have? How responsive are they to your needs? So that could be some of the concerns that may shift somebody's thoughts of either putting money into their 401k or putting it into a plan outside of their 401k. And wrapping up our list here with number 5 of why you might not want to put money into your 401k is if all you've ever done is saved into your 401k, you might want to do a tax projection. It might worry you about what your future taxes will be, because all of that 401k money is tax deferred, meaning you have not paid a dime of tax on any of that money yet. So remember, every dollar that comes out of your 401k, or if you rolled that into an IRA, all of that's tax deferred. Every dollar that's going to come out, you're going to have to pay income tax on every dollar that comes out. And starting in your 70s, you're going to have RMDs, required minimum distributions. That's the forced income that the government's going to require you to take out of these accounts. And that a lot of times can potentially put people with higher taxable income in their retirement than where they're at today. So if all you've ever done is saved money into your 401k, one of the things that we do for our clients is what's called a tax plan and tax projection, looking at what their taxable income will be in their future versus where they're at today. Sometimes we tell folks, yep, makes sense, keep putting in your money into your 401k. However, a lot of times they've saved up $1 million or $2 million into their 401ks, and what we're telling them based on those tax projections is that they need to switch where they're putting their money. Maybe we're having them switch that to a Roth 401k or a Roth IRA, or putting money into their brokerage account. As we mentioned earlier, giving them tax diversification, tax flexibility, and helping to potentially lower their future taxes on the money that they're saving. So if all you've ever done is saved into your 401k, if you're looking at all of your money, and let's just say 90+% of it is sitting in 401ks, you could potentially have a tax issue in your future, and that could be a potential reason why you want to switch from no longer saving into your 401k and then instead maybe go into your Roth 401k, Roth IRA, or into your brokerage account. Again, by doing a tax plan and tax projection, you'll be able to see what your future taxable income looks like and which direction you should continue to head. So, is a 401k a good tool? Absolutely. It's a great tool to help people with their retirement savings. However, there are some times that you might not want to be putting your contributions into your 401k. Hopefully these 5 that we've talked about today really help you think about your situation and where you should be putting your future contributions. So hopefully don't walk away from this and be like, man, I've got to shut off all of my contributions. I want you to walk away from this going, what is right for you? What's right for your contributions? Where's the right location for your contributions to go? Also, at the beginning, I talked about most likely if you're listening to today's topic, you're probably not retired yet. You're probably still saving for retirement, wondering where to put your 401k. One thing that could also be on your mind is when do you take Social Security? And as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we have a new free guide that we've created about the different decisions around Social Security. It's going to provide you actionable advice about the timing of claiming your benefit to help you optimize your benefit by hundreds or potentially thousands of dollars. You can get it at lifemoneyshow.com/Social Security. Again, that's lifemoneyshow.com/Social Security. Get your free guide. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, you want to hear additional episodes just like this. You want to hear topics on how to help reduce your taxable income, how to help reduce your taxes, keep more of your hard-earned retirement savings with you and in your pocket versus giving it to the IRS. Topics like Social Security. Subscribe on your favorite podcast player as we're going to be coming out with additional episodes each and every week on topics just like those. With that, I really look forward to our next conversation to helping you enjoy life today and being financially confident about your retirement.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Sierens Financial Management, Inc. Sierens Financial Group, Inc. is an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through AE Wealth Management, LLC, AEWM, a registered investment advisor. AEWM does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Sierens Financial Management, Inc. are not subject to investment advisor requirements. AEWM and Sierens Financial Group, Inc. are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as a sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. Please remember that converting an employer plan account to a Roth IRA is a taxable event. Increased taxable income from the Roth IRA conversion may have several consequences, including, but not limited to, a need for additional tax withholding or estimated tax payments, the loss of certain tax deductions and credits, and higher taxes on Social Security benefits and higher Medicare premiums. Be sure to consult with a qualified tax advisor before making any decisions regarding your IRA. Sierens Financial Group, Inc. is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during the show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Sierens Financial Group, Inc.